Hi everybody, welcome to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be tying a Diawl Bach. Now you can see there's one in the vise, and this Diawl Bach is called the Lexus Legend. I don't know too much about its origins or who tied it. I can't even give you a date effectively, but all I know is that John Horsey used to run a Stillwater fly fishing competition that was sponsored by Lexus around 2005 to 2015, I think. Who the angler that developed this fly is or was, I really don't know. But it came to my attention sometime last year when I was reading a blog written by Craig Barr regarding his visit to the Lake of Menteith. And in it he described the water conditions, the fish, the techniques that he was using, more importantly some of the flies that he used to catch fish. And actually this was one of those flies. So I'll put a link to that blog so you can give it a read and see what he had to say about tactics and which flies he used. And maybe that'll give you a little bit of an insight into how a successful angler approaches a Stillwater look. So before we get on to tying the fly, I'll just run through the materials. So hook size is, or hooks that can be used are 10s and 12s. The tail is black cock hackle fibres, as is the throat hackle. Now the body is black or dyed black Peacock Herl, ribbed with medium iced blue pearl tinsel. The cheeks are white Goose Biots, and the tie-in silk, as you can see from the head, is fluorescent fire orange. Now the head sometimes appears redder, if that is a word, or more red shall I say, and there is a possibility that instead of using fluorescent fire orange, that black tie-in silk has been used and the head is just finished off with Glow Bright number 4. I don't know, this is my take on the fly, so you could call her a variant, and if anybody does know the original dressing, please drop it in the comment section and I'll gladly update the pattern and give credit to the guy who tied the fly. So anyway, that's that. Let's go on and tie it. So what I'm going to do is just tie on behind the eye, take a couple of turns down and then trim off the waist. We're going to get some black cock hackle fibres now to create the tail, and if you've watched any of my other videos you'll know I don't like a tail that is too long. Couple of turns there to get the fibres under control, and then we're going to take our ice blue pearl and slip it under and pull it into position. So let me get that out of the way. I'm going to take a couple more turns so that we're just on the hook point there. Okay, so once that's done, we'll get our black or dyed black Peacock Herl, snip off the tip where it's weakest, and then just tie that on and return the tie-in silk all the way back up to the hook eye. And I'll just trim off the waist there. That's fine, and secure that with a little bit more. So taking the Peacock Herl, just wind that up in close touching turns, and should take about 20 or 21 wraps, but you'll hear me talking about numbers of wraps or number of turns or what have you. It's a method I use so that each fly I tie has the same number of wraps, same number of turns of tinsel, and effectively what it then enables me to do is to be consistent with my tying and effectively make each fly the same. They aren't, of course, but you know, near as damn it. So what I've done is I've taken the Ice Blue Pearl, taken 4 turns, and then just secured it at the head. I'm now going to get a few more Hackle fibres and use that to create a false hackle. So as ever, I like my fibres about the same length as my hook shank or my body, and all I've done is a sort of upside down pinch and loop. If you want, you can and you have a rotary vise, what you can do is you can just invert your hook and go from there. So with that done, we just need to offer up our Goose Biots, and all I'm going to do is take them in my left hand, 1 or 2 turns, just take a look on the length and positioning. There we go. So I've got both those in the same position and how I want them. Remove the waist. And then tidy up the head, a couple of turns and a whip finish. Oops. And I can use the whip finish to place my silk wraps anyway. But I just need to create this nice head and snip off the waist. Go. That one's come up slightly. Not to worry. So just to finish off this, a little of the UV resin. Move the excess round so that the head gets a good soak in, and those thread wraps are covered. Make sure you clear the eye if any has gone in there. It's quite difficult afterwards because it sets so hard. And one good way to do that is if you've got a waist hackle, just place the quill through the eye. Okay, and any feather fibres that are left from what you were doing, they'll wick away any of that excess now. So a little bit of the UV torch just to set that off, and there we have our finished Lexus Legend Diawl Bach. So like I say, I haven't tried it. It's going in my box for this season. I'll certainly give it a fish. If you do decide to tie some of these, please fish them. Let me know how you get on. It'd be very interesting to compare notes. And that only leaves me to say thanks for tuning in and watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.